Linda Sarsour is a prominent spokeswoman and self-proclaimed Palestinian-American Muslim organizer and civil rights activist here in the U.S. According to her, you'll know when you're living under Sharia law if suddenly all your loans and credit cards become interest-free. Sound nice, doesn't it? Linda and other Western Muslims and Islamic apologists frequently conceal the true nature of Sharia law. This legal code is based on the teachings of the Quran as well as the life of Muhammad captured in the Hadith. We'll look at some codes of Sharia and demonstrate that it's about much more than interest on loans and credit cards. As I cite just a few codes, I'll give a reference in the Quran or Hadith to demonstrate that these requirements are indeed rooted in Islamic ideology. There are four main schools of Sunni Islamic jurisprudence. I'll reference the Shifihi Manual of Sacred Islamic Law, Reliance of the Traveler. This school of Islamic law is common in many areas throughout the world like Egypt, Linda Sarsour's Palestine, India, and Indonesia. This is not an extreme form of Sharia. It simply codifies what's found in the most authoritative sources of Islam. If one wants to reject this school of jurisprudence, then one must reject the select parts of the sources that they're based on. Section O 1.2, killing an apostate, that is one who leaves Islam, is without consequences. This is repeated in several codes throughout the manual. Based in part on Sunan Abu Dawud 4337, Muhammad said, "Kill those who change their religion." This narration is regarded as Sahih. Section O 9.8, the Caliph makes war upon the Jews and Christians after they reject offers of invitation and subjugation to Islam. Surah 9:29 encourages the Ummah to fight those who believe not in Allah nor the last day, nor hold that forbidden which has been forbidden by Allah and His Messenger. It further encourages fighting against the people of the book until they pay the jizya, are submitted, and feel themselves subdued. Section M 11.9, the husband is only required to support his wife when she allows him full sexual enjoyment of her person. Sahih Bukhari 51:51, the Prophet said, "The stipulations most entitled to be abided by are those with which you are given the right to enjoy the woman's private parts." Section M 10.12, a man may beat his rebellious wife as long as he doesn't break any bones or cause blood to flow. He may hit her once or more than once. Based on the Quran in Surah 4:34, as for those from whom ye fear rebellion, admonish them and banish them to beds apart, and scourge them. Notice that the rebellion doesn't actually have to occur. The man just has to fear rebellion by his wife, and rebellion is inclusive. It includes things like refusing lawful sexual enjoyment of her person, or leaving the house without permission. In Sahih al-Bukhari 49:42, Muhammad gives limits to beating. He says not to lash your wife like a slave, for you might want to sleep with her the same evening. Muhammad struck Aisha, his wife, on the chest in Sahih Muslim 21:27 and caused her pain. In Sahih al-Bukhari 46:08, Aisha said that Abu Bakr came and hit her violently on the chest. Abu Bakr was Aisha's father. In Section E 4.3, circumcision for women is obligatory. This is defined as removing the prepuce of the clitoris. Based on Sahih al-Bukhari 58:91, I heard the Prophet saying 5 practices are characteristics of fitra, circumcision being the first. If Linda Sarsour and others of her ilk were so concerned with human rights, they would be fighting against Sharia, as well as the texts and their ideology which support it, the Hadith and Quran. As liars and pacifists who conceal the true nature of Sharia, they further the suffering of people, and women especially, around the world who are terrorized by this legal code. Right now, in the name of Allah and Muhammad, apostates are being killed, women are being beaten, and little girls are having their genitals mutilated using methods that are too barbaric for me to communicate. Meanwhile, Sarsour talks about credit card interest, and the New York Times encourages us to stop using female genital mutilation and refer to it simply as genital cutting. Given such practices are prescribed by Muhammad and Allah, there are far-reaching implications against the Islamic conception of God and Muhammad as an excellent example of a prophet.